Hey, lovelies. As always, I'm so excited to share this training on why your dream clients aren't choosing you yet and the one shift that changes everything. If you are watching this, please say hello in the comments and let me know where in the world you are tuning in from. And before I dive in, I want to say something. If you are watching this today because something in the title felt uncomfortably familiar, like maybe you already know your dream clients aren't choosing you and you're not quite sure why, then you are exactly who I created this training for. Because here's what I know about women in my world. You are already good at what you do, really good. You get results for your clients, you care deeply, and you show up fully, right? And yet the clients you really want to work with, the ones who are, already doing well, already investing in themselves, they've already decided and they are ready to pay premium, they keep choosing someone else. And you're left wondering what they have that you don't. You know, do they have better content, a bigger audience, a more polished brand? Well, I'm going to tell you today that it's none of those things. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you shift it, everything changes. So, for those of you new to my world, my name is Anne Ryan. I'm a business mentor and a money mindset coach for coaches and consultants building towards multiple six and seven figures. I spent 20 years in corporate strategy. Then my husband and I borrowed $300,000 against our home in 2008 and built a business that has generated over $50 million in sales so far. 7 years ago, I started my online coaching business and built it to 100K months, working between 2 to 4 hours a day. Not because I had a perfect strategy, but because I did the identity work that made the strategy work. And today I'm going to show you the three specific ways your identity is costing you the clients, the income, and the business you actually want. So let's get started. I want to start by saying something that I think is really important. When I talk about identity, I'm not talking about woo. I'm not talking about vision boards or high vibrational frequencies or any of that, right? I'm talking about something very specific and very practical. I'm talking about the version of yourself you are operating from every single day in your business. The beliefs you hold about what you're worth, who you can attract, and what's actually possible for you. Because here's what I've learned after years of working with clients who achieve success and then plateau. Your identity is everything. It shows up in your business, in your behavior, in your content, in your pricing, in the clients that you attract, in the conversations that you have, and so much more. And when you are playing small for the business you want to build, your dream clients feel it, even if they can't explain what it is. So let me show you exactly what I mean. Here's something I see in almost every new client I work with. She has a dream client in mind, the woman who is already committed to her success. She's already at a level where she's ready to pay premium for the support and she's ready to do the work. But she doesn't go after her. Instead, she aims a little lower, targets someone a little earlier on their journey, someone who feels a little bit more attainable, a little bit safer. Yeah. And she tells herself she'll go after the dream client when she's more established, right? When she has more results, when she feels more ready. And the reason is because she doesn't believe her dream clients would actually choose her. So she pre-rejects herself before her dream client even gets the chance to say yes. And here's what that costs her. She fills her business with clients who are a level below where she wants to be, who pay less, ask for more, and don't get the kind of results she's actually capable of delivering at her highest level. And then she wonders why she can't get the testimonials, the case studies, or the reputation that would attract dream clients she's been waiting to feel ready for. And it's a cycle. And it starts with identity, right? The moment she decides, genuinely decides, that her dream client is available to her right now, she starts showing up very differently. She creates content very differently. She positions her offer differently. And the dream clients actually then find her, right? Now, the second thing I see, it's a bit more subtle, but premium clients can feel it immediately. She holds back her real opinions in her content because she's afraid of being judged, right? So she dilutes her message to keep everyone comfortable, including the people who were never going to buy from her anyway, right? She prices from her comfort zone instead of her actual value. And then wonders why she keeps getting clients who negotiate with her, ask her for, varied payment plans, and question whether the investment is actually worth it. She wobbles in sales conversations. She over explains her offer. She adds bonuses when someone, starts pushing back on the price instead of holding the line. And premium clients, the ones with high standards, the ones that she actually wants to attract, feel every single one of those energetic leaks. Because premium clients aren't looking for a coach who needs their yes. Yeah. They're looking for a coach who is so certain of her own value that the price is simply a reflection of what she's worth, what the work is worth. When you give out the energy of doubt, you don't just lose the sale, you lose the client before the conversation even starts. Because your content, your positioning, and your energy are already telling her, I'm not quite sure I'm the one. And she believes you, right? Now, the third thing that I see is the one that I think hits the hardest because it's actually disguised as a strength. She over delivers. She gives more time, more energy, more of herself than any client could reasonably expect. She throws in extra sessions when a client pushes back on price. She keeps the draining client longer than she should because the gap in income feels scarier than the resentment she feels every time she sees their name in her notifications. She tells herself this is who she is, that she cares, that she's really dedicated. And she does care and she is dedicated. And that's true. And it does matter. But here's what actually is happening underneath all of that. She believes her worth is in her output, that the value she delivers has to be earned through hours and effort and going above and beyond, right? And that deeply held belief is the thing that makes charging premium feel impossible. Because every time her price goes up in her mind, she does the mental picture of how much more she'll have to give. Yeah. So she keeps the price low, she over delivers, and she eventually burns out. And she wonders why her business feels so damn heavy. Now, these three identity patterns, pre rejecting herself, leaking doubt, and over justifying her worth through how much she gives, her output, are not personality flaws, right? They are learned behaviors, patterns that made sense at some point, that kept her safe, but they are keeping her from the business and the clients she's genuinely capable of having. And here's the most important thing I want to share today. None of this is a strategy problem. They are all an identity problem. And that is actually the best news you've ever received, because you can change your identity faster than you think. And if you're wondering how, I want to be really specific here, because I don't want this to sound like just believe in yourself more advice. Yeah. The identity upgrade isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And it shows up in very specific, observable ways. So let me show you what changes. Number one, she stops negotiating with who she's willing to work with. Yeah. It's a decision. Instead of targeting the safer, more attainable clients, she starts creating content for the woman she actually wants to work with. She speaks directly to her reality, her specific problems, and her specific desires. And guess what? Something really interesting happens, right? The dream clients start showing up, not because something changed in the market or in her audience, but because she stopped hiding from who she wanted to speak to. Number two, she says the things she's been holding back on, right? Her content stops being safe and it starts being specific, very direct, unapologetic. Yeah. She shares her real opinion on the things a lot of people in her industry are dancing around. Yeah. She posts the things she's been sitting on for weeks because she wasn't sure how it would be received. And the right women feel like she's reading their mind. Not because she got better at marketing, but because she got better at being herself and speaking her truth. Number three, she says her price without wobbling. Not because she suddenly feels fearless, but because she's made a decision that her price is a reflection of her value, and that decision is not up for negotiations. Yeah. And here's what I've seen happen almost every single time a woman makes that decision. The client who shows up at the higher price are easier. They are more committed. They are more coachable. They get better results and they refer others just like them. Raising her price didn't make her clients harder to find. It made the right ones easier to attract. Moving on, number four. She releases the wrong clients without feeling guilt or fear. Now, not because she stopped caring, but because she understands that holding on to the wrong client out of fear is blocking the space that the right ones would fill. I shared in a post recently, one of my clients released 3 clients who weren't aligned. She raised her prices and made 100K the following month. Not because she suddenly got lucky, but because she finally stopped blocking her own growth. Number 5, she creates from conviction instead of from a need for approval. Her content stops being designed to be liked and starts being designed to actually convert. She stops checking how many likes she got, and really starts noticing how many DMs she receives from women who are ready and say, this is exactly where I am right now. And here's what I want you to understand about all of these shifts. They don't happen because she found a better strategy. They happen because she became a different version of herself. And when your identity and your strategy are aligned, when you're showing up as the woman who has fully decided, your content becomes a mirror. The right women see themselves in it. And of course, they say yes. So everything I've shared with you today, the 3 identity patterns that are costing you money and what shifts when you upgrade your identity, this is the work I do with my clients, of course, alongside the strategy. Right? I work with women in 2 ways. And I want to tell you about both because the right fit depends on where you are on your journey and where you want to go. The first is my 30-day one-to-one intensive. And right now I have just 1 spot left, right? For April. We kick off with a full VIP day, in person or virtual, right? Where we go deep on your identity, your offer, your pricing, and your messaging. Then we follow up with 30 days of close proximity work to really embed the shifts and make sure they show up in your content, your sales conversations, and your results. This is for the woman who wants to move fast, who wants my full attention and wants to see a shift in her business within weeks. Yeah. The second is my group mastermind, a 12-month experience for women who are ready to go from 6-figure years to 6-figure months. We do the identity work alongside the strategy, which includes offer positioning, messaging, pricing, client acquisition, all the things, inside a community of women all playing at the same level. Which one is right for you? I honestly don't know yet because I need to know about you. And that's exactly why I want to have a real conversation before you make any decision. So here's what I want you to do. DM me and let's talk. It won't be a sales call, but a genuine conversation about where you are and where you want to go and whether working together is the right move. I'll be honest with you, if it's not the right fit, I'll tell you that too. What I can tell you is this: your dream clients are not out of reach. You likely don't need a different strategy, a bigger audience, or even more time to attract them. You need a version of yourself who has decided that she's ready. And that version of you is so much closer than you think. I am going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Now go make a shit ton of money helping your dreamiest clients. Bye.